This video was brought to you by Nebula. Today, Kamala Harris announces her vice presidential pick, Russia accuses Ukraine of an attack over its border, and Hamas names a new leader. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Wednesday the 7th of August, 2024. On Tuesday, Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris announced that she'd chosen her running mate, Governor of Minnesota Tim Walz. This choice was announced in a message to supporters, in which Harris described Walz as a battle-tested leader who has an incredible track record of getting things done for Minnesota families. Harris and Walz then went on to make their first public appearance together at an event in Philadelphia on Tuesday evening, the first event in a multi-day tour of battleground states. The announcement also comes after an intense period of vetting and deliberating over a number of potential VP candidates by the Harris campaign. Now, it was widely expected that Harris would go with a white man who was able to appeal to specific voters in important swing states. It was even reported that Harris had whittled down her shortlist to just two, Tim Walz and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, with Walz ultimately winning out. Now, for many people, Tim Walz is not a particularly well-known figure. So who is he and why was he picked? 60-year-old Walz is a former public school teacher, football coach, and National Guardsman, whose entry into politics saw him elected to the House of Representatives in 2006, where he served until being elected as Minnesota's governor in 2018. What's been described as his folksy everyman style and his background as a veteran who previously represented a Republican-leaning district are all things that the Harris campaign are hoping will boost the party's top ticket in areas where it might otherwise struggle. While Minnesota itself isn't exactly a swing state, it is slap bang in the middle of the Midwest, which is home to a number of other swing states. The moment that arguably launched Walz's VP audition was a TV interview where he attacked Republicans like Donald Trump's running mate J.D. Vance by saying, "These guys are just weird."
Well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, you know, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something. That's what they go at. That's not what people are interested in.
A line that seemingly proved effective enough for the Harris campaign and Democrats to adopt it almost overnight. Walz also appeared to emerge as the VP pick of choice among more progressive Democrats, who praised his legislative agenda in Minnesota, which includes signing bills that codify abortion rights into state law, legalizing marijuana, providing free school lunch to public school students, creating a paid leave program, and more, with Walz also being a union supporter and a long-time champion of LGBTQ+ rights. It's this policy platform, though, that the Trump campaign has been quick to seize on following Harris's announcement, blasting Walz as a dangerous liberal extremist who has spent his governorship trying to reshape Minnesota in the image of California, adding that the Harris-Walz California dream is every American's nightmare. There's more on the way, but remember to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing tomorrow. Plus, if you want to support the channel like Eric Ling, then consider joining the TLDR membership program for just $1.99. Now, let me bring you some key developments from Russia's war in Ukraine. Yesterday, Moscow stated that Ukrainian forces attempted a major incursion into Russia. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that up to 300 Ukrainian troops with tanks and armored vehicles attacked border units in the Kursk region. These clashes extended as far as the outskirts of Sudza, a town of some 5,000 people about 10 kilometers away from the border with Ukraine. However, Moscow has said that Russian forces were able to repel this attack. Local authorities have reported at least 5 deaths and 28 injuries, though. The acting governor in the region has described the situation as difficult and urged residents to seek shelter, with eyewitness videos showing Russian fighter jets flying low over the region in their counterattack and burning vehicles on roads. Kyiv didn't immediately respond to comment on the alleged incursion. However, one Ukrainian National Security and Defense Council official said Russia was not in control of its border. This isn't the first time that Russia has been attacked across its border either. In March, exiled pro-Ukraine Russian fighters attacked the Belgorod and Kursk regions, but no gains were made. Yesterday's incursion was, however, one of the largest Ukrainian ground attacks on Russian soil since the full-scale invasion in 2022, with fighting lasting over 10 hours. Next, let's move to the Middle East, where in Gaza, Hamas have named Yahya Sinwar, the man widely considered to have masterminded the October 7th attacks, as the successor to its late political chief. This follows their previous leader's assassination last week in Iran's capital of Tehran, for which Iran has vowed retaliation. Sinwar's appointment was made as Israel braces for a likely response from Iran, and according to a regional diplomat familiar with the ceasefire talks brokered by Egypt and Qatar, this is a message of toughness and uncompromising. For context, Sinwar, who is 61, was born in a refugee camp in the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis, and was elected as Hamas's leader in 2017. He was previously head of Hamas's intelligence service and has spent half his adult life in Israeli prisons for attempted murder and sabotage. He was released in 2011 as part of a prisoner swap, in which Israel exchanged 1,000 prisoners for an Israeli soldier that had been captured 5 years earlier by Hamas. A former interrogator even called Sinwar 1,000% committed and 1,000% violent, a very, very hard man. In fact, he's considered ruthless and powerful, and is believed to hold control over the 120 hostages still held in Gaza, making him a fierce adversary for Israel. Let's move to Bangladesh now, where the country's president has dissolved parliament and formed an interim government after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled the country in the face of mass protests. The president announced that economist and Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus would lead the interim government, meeting a key demand by student protest leaders. Yunus, currently in Paris, is a longtime political opponent of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and he was awarded the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize for founding Grameen Bank, Bank for the Poor, which helped to bring thousands of people out of poverty by offering small loans without the need of collateral to people unable to qualify for regular bank loans. The appointment of Yunus came after a meeting between Bangladesh's figurehead president, student protest leaders, military chiefs, and civil society members. Other members of the new interim government will be announced following further meetings with the political parties. But meanwhile, the president dissolved the country's parliament in order to clear the way for fresh elections yet to come. For more on the uprising in Bangladesh, you can check out our full video over on the TLDR Global channel, which should be linked in the description. Finally, for our uplifting story today, researchers have been extensively looking for De Winton's golden mole, which was last spotted in 1937 and was thought to be extinct. But they finally found the species in the sand dunes of South Africa. The golden mole lives exclusively in sand, which it swims through, creating inaccessible tunnels in which it resides, making them difficult to find. The researchers' journey with the mole began with them taking over 100 samples of sand and analyzing them for DNA traces of the animal left in its environment through excretions, skin cells, and hair. And through this, they were able to find a DNA sample from a De Winton golden mole specimen that matched the genes of the DNA traces, proving that this rare species, while hard to find, was not extinct. Now, you can keep diving deeper into this and other news stories over on Nebula, where the TLDR team curates the most important news videos from around the world, saving you from a deluge of bad news and helping you pay attention to what really matters. This means no more feeling out of touch. On Nebula News, the TLDR team act as your guide through the media landscape, sharing the news that we're paying attention to and helping you to find the stories that matter and avoid burnout. Now, if you don't know already, Nebula is a streaming service that we co-own with a bunch of your favorite creators. There, you can watch original content like Real Life Law's incredible series War Room, which every month runs you through a whole load of ongoing conflicts, keeping you in the loop. You can also watch every TLDR video on Nebula ad-free, and in many instances, before they land on YouTube. If you're not a member already, then you can click the link in the description to sign up now. And if you do, you'll get 40% off an annual plan by using our link. Plus, Nebula will know that you came from us, which really helps us out. We've got some great feedback from existing members on the Nebula News features, so I hope you enjoy the effort that we're putting into Nebula News.